The sun is providing solar energy and heat energy to our lovely Earth, but something called energy imbalance destroyed the heavy world. What is it? Where does it come from? How can we do for that? Let's take and see the great Dr. Helen Shen to discuss today's topic. Hello, Dr. Shen. Nice to meet you. Would you like to talk about what is the global energy imbalance?
Now I'll show you a graph about it.
According to NASA's official website, they give out the definition as Earth's energy imbalance is the difference between the amount of solar energy absorbed by Earth and the amount of energy the planet radiates to space as heat. There are two types of global energy imbalance. One is the Earth reflects more solar energy to the space than it absorbs from the sun, and the other is the Earth absorbs more solar energy than it radiates back to the space. Now the Earth is facing the situation that we absorb more solar energy than we radiate back to the space, so our Earth becomes hotter and hotter. Well, the energy imbalance influence of Earth is terrific, isn't it? But how did it occur? What's the original causes of this?
The main factor is carbon dioxide, or CO2 in short term.
When the global energy is maintained at an average stable rate, the energy received by the Earth from the Sun balances the energy lost by the Earth back into space. However, this carbon dioxide flows into the atmosphere and becomes a thick layer around the Earth. When the sunlight is absorbed by the Earth and some of them is going to bounce back to the space, the carbon dioxide trapped the radiated solar energy, so they cannot back to the space but stay around the Earth, causing greenhouse effect, and the Earth's temperature continually increasing. Commonly, we call this situation as global warming. Thanks a lot about the description and diagrams. So what can we do to prevent this happen more seriously? Here are the three solutions. First, use pure fossil fuels for burning. We need to know where of these carbon dioxide were produced. Mostly are produced during the electricity production, transportation, and industry, the three major parts of human lives. The carbon dioxide usually created in the burning of fuels, the energy which humans use the most for most of the energy production, just like we mentioned before. As a result, we need to control the capacity we use fossil fuels. However, it is too important to humans nowadays to use those fossil fuels. At least now, we cannot live without fossil fuels. So we need to do something about those fuels themselves. We need those with high purity which produce less carbon dioxide, just like the oils we add into the cars.
2. Renewable energy resource. As we see, it is the most common way that we use today. So for example, we can use the energy like solar energy,
Wind energy,
hydroelectricity, biofuels.
During this type of energy collection, we need less or no fossil fuels, so we achieve the goal of reduce the carbon dioxide. However, these projects need high cost and technique to accomplish, so the developing poor countries may not perform these projects. In addition, those processes depend on natural resources such as wind and sunlight, which are not very available all the time and having a constant efficiency. The widespread of the renewable energy should be considered. 3. Elevate the global warming manually. There was a conception that to build up a high tunnel into the stratosphere and release sulfides, which is a kind of aerosol that radiates solar energy back to the space. This manual program will reduce the energy that our Earth absorbs, so we will continually getting warmer. However, it is still stay on the progress of conception since now the technology cannot achieve the fact. There are many other factors have to be considered too: the cost, the amount of sulfide to produce, and the time for release them.
As you can see, every solution has its own limitation, but we have to make out the best choice about it. And as my personal perspective, I prefer the first one that we use pure fossil fuels. As I mentioned before, now we cannot live without the fossil fuels. And the pure fossil fuels can produce less carbon dioxide. But why?
The core were once being ancient plant on Earth and hidden under the ground for millions of years and become core we exploit today. It contains a very special component called carbon, which can become carbon dioxide as its gaseous form and absorb dust and ashes. If the core is not pure enough, when it burns, carbon is changed into carbon dioxide, which brings the dust into the sky too. This will make the energy imbalance more serious and be such a harm to human body. If we reduce the concentration of those ashes and dust in the coal, the smoke will not bring them into the atmosphere. In addition, the invention of anthracite, a type of coal does not produce smoke, has a strong ability to keep in solid form to help absorb dust in the air.
But it costs a lot. Most every metal consists a lot of money to be spent. Secondly, even though the dust will be absorbed by the core, carbon dioxide still be produced. Remember, we are just reducing the rate of global warming and to prevent the energy imbalance to be more serious, but we cannot stop it.
Well done, Dr. Shen. What a brilliant presentation about the solution and their limitations. If you see how widely use of these fossil fuels, especially coals in the factory, what do you think about this will affect the world?
It's quite complex, so no one will talk about which country has the most fossil fuels like Dubai, but we'll talk about or discussing where produce the pure one.
When this occurs, the way we manage an economy about fossil resources changes. Plus, technology plays significant roles in it because the process we extract and purify the fuels needs a very high level of technique to achieve this, and we need people, equipment, and money to support that.
It's a cycle, you see. Nothing is untouchable, and everything has a connection and bridge to the others.
Marvelous conclusion! Thanks a lot to our honored Dr. Helen Shen. Thank you for attending. And this is the end of today's topic. Bye bye.